to this episode of Let's Talk Someone's Like Sports. My special guest is Lance, and we will be talking some Buffalo Bills football. Um, how's your night so far?
Hey, buddy, I'm doing well, having a good night. NHL drafts going on right now, so looks like the Buffalo Sabres are going to be on the clock soon. So exciting stuff happening tonight.
Yeah, it's
How are you
gonna
doing?
be exciting to see who the Sabres end up drafting this season.
For sure. You think they're going to trade?
I don't know if they're gonna trade up or if they're gonna trade down. So it'd be fun to see what Kevin Adams does.
Definitely.
Um, how do you feel about the McDermott and Bean extension?
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit on the Buffalo Blitz last night, my podcast Tuesday nights. And it's very interesting. They did it on a Friday night or a Friday, excuse me. Um, and so close after the Stefan Diggs drama happened. So I think that part of the initiative or the um, motivation to do that extension for those guys was partly due to some of the Stefan Diggs things. So overall, super excited that we get our coaches, our coach and our GM, um, you know, here and kind of locked up for some time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way because I like the way McDermott was coaching the team, and now that he has a bigger role because of Leslie Frazier leaving the team.
Yeah, did you like Leslie Frazier being the defensive coordinator? How did you feel about Leslie?
I think he was like he was okay, but he wasn't like um putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Very good. I agree. Yeah, I think that Sean McDermott will do that. Sean McDermott's going to call a more aggressive game plan from the beginning, and then also in-game adjustments to try to help increase pressure on the quarterback. I think that's going to be an emphasis this season. So I'm excited to see. We got Leonard Floyd, right? Now teamed up with his old pal Von Miller, who's scheduled to be back week one as of now. We'll see how that all pans out. I can go on a whole show about how I think Von Miller is going to play week one, and nobody believes him or me, but I'm going to trust his word and say that he's going to play week one. So Greg Rousseau and all those guys at Oliver with DaQuan Jones and now Puna Ford, that defensive line is looking really, really good. So Sean McDermott's going to have a lot of cool uh, tools to use and kind of deploy those guys as he sees fit. He loves rotation. So I'm excited. I think McDermott getting that extension, like I said, had a little bit of a publicity impact to it. And then Brandon Bean as well. I think he just maybe didn't want to do one without the other. So I'm very thankful for those two guys. They're doing a heck of a job, I think, out here in Buffalo. Not only with the Buffalo Bills sports team that we all love and root for, but also for the community. He's just they're both doing things that are great in our community. Sean McDermott's partnered with Wegmans, and they have their sunscreen deal for the skin cancer. foundation that Sean McDermott founded, and it's really good to see these two guys have kind of come into Buffalo, turned the whole organization around, and just been pillars kind of for us in our community here.
Do you think Ken Dorsey will be um better with his running backs this season?
I hope so. Dorsey was very reliant upon Josh Allen being a really great player. Um, and you could tell the way Allen played and tried to maybe force things at times later in the season rather than just taking what the defense is giving them. And it'll be interesting to see Ken Dorsey this year, how his play calling will evolve, how his in-game management of Josh Allen will evolve. One of the things we talked about throughout the week was, the ability to kind of rein Josh Allen in if he gets on kind of his like sugar high Josh Allen um, kick. So I think that Ken Dorsey, being a former quarterback, knows all he has to know about what Josh Allen's going through, and I think it's a matter of then just putting it all together with a comprehensive game plan, and making it easy on everyone. Take what the defense is going to give the offense, and let's kind of move the ball easy up and down the field because we certainly have the talent to do that. What do you think about Ken Dorsey?
Like sometimes he was being conservative when they were up by a lot, but I think they should like try to be aggressive.
Yeah, that's great. I like that idea. Definitely looking to get a few more passes in the hands of Stefan Diggs, obviously, in those close games, and then make sure to keep our foot on the pedal when we've got a team beaten and make sure they don't come back.
How do you think the Bills will do against like their AFC rivals now that Aaron Rodgers is in the AFC East?
I think they're going to go 4-2 probably in the division. I think they kind of split with Miami and split with the Jets and then beat New England twice. Um, that's kind of the way I see it playing out this year. I think the division is one of the best divisions in football. Um, Going 3-3 even would be good, but I would hope and I would think that they can take care of business against New England, both home and away, and then like I said, split with the Jets and split with Miami. So 4-2 is the target record in the division. That kind of sets them up to have a lot of the different tiebreakers they might need, and gets them into the running at least to make another deep playoff run. And do you have a record prediction for the Bills in the AFC East? As they're going to play 6 games, right? Two against each team. So, what do you think their record might be against the new division opponents?
I would say like 4-2.
Right on. I like that pick. I know a guy that thinks the same way.
And um like I don't think Mac Jones is like the big quarterback
Right.
for New England.
Yeah, I think he definitely hinders their ability to have success. We'll see. He's working his tail off from what everyone said. So I think every NFL player is probably out there working as hard as they can. And we see Stefan Diggs doing the same thing. So it'll be interesting to see this division how it shakes out. And the Patriots just signed um, Devontae Parker to a 3-year extension, which kind of upped the market for Gabriel Davis now. If the Bills are looking to re-sign Gabe Davis, how do you feel about Gabe Davis as our number 2 wide receiver?
I think like Gabe could be the number 2 guy. But like I see him more like in the middle. Like when they throw the short passes.
Right. Yeah, he's traditionally been a very good deep threat for Josh Allen, so he's going to hopefully get down the field and open that up. We've got some new receivers in there, so we can see how his role may or may not change and see what how his skill set has evolved since he joined the Bills, entered the NFL.
What would your overall record prediction be for the Bills?
Oh, geez. I think I gotta stay consistent here. I think depending on the Jaguars game in London, that they may go 13-4 or 14-3 potentially.
Yeah. I mean, I feel the same way because um like Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback and he's a young quarterback still, so I think that he would be throwing good passes for that game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see um, how that might work out because the Jaguars are going to play in London the week before, and I believe stay there, and then the Bills will go out and travel that week. So it'll be interesting to see if anything happens. And just so you
And
know, I don't know if you're watching it. It looks like the Sabres might be on the clock here.
and the Jaguars also got Travis Etienne.
Hmm.
So I think McDermott should have his like playbook to be aggressive against him.
For sure. And we've seen the Bills have some trouble against the running game of some teams. So we'll definitely find out how the newly tooled defensive line and our linebacking core without Tremaine Edmonds performs against a what I would say probably a stout running attack um, that'll be coming from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Do you think the Bills are going to be better at stopping the run this year than they were last year?
I think they could be because like with McDermott being the defensive coordinator, I think they could be um a lot better since he was with Carolina and Philadelphia too.
Right.
Do do we play Kansas City this year again too?
Yep. My prediction was that we lose to Kansas City, Philadelphia, and maybe Jacksonville, and then also maybe one of the division opponents or Cincinnati. But then whoever we lose to in the regular season, we end up going and beating in the postseason, and then we beat Philadelphia in the Super Bowl. How's that sound to you? If we're able
Uh,
to beat Cincinnati and Kansas City in the playoffs, and maybe a Jacksonville if we have to play 3 games, and then beat Philadelphia in the Super Bowl, I think that'll be exciting.
Yeah, like Philadelphia and Buffalo. That was my Super Bowl prediction, I think.
Way too early Super Bowl predictions here on Let's Talk 716 Sports.
Yeah. Um so like yesterday on your show you were talking about um the digs. Do you think that it would be over by the time training camp comes around?
I think that it'll be nice when the media is able to speak with Stefan Diggs and then kind of put the whole thing to bed. Everybody right now, um, everyone's had to answer questions um, for Stefan Diggs, and it'll be nice to see Stefan Diggs answer those questions instead of his teammates and allow the situation kind of be put to rest. Hopefully, um, that's the case, and hopefully it doesn't become snowball into anything greater. So, well, that's it. They made a pick. Did you see the Sabres draft pick?
No, I didn't see it.
They got left winger Zach Benson out of Winnipeg, the WHL.
Oh, that's who I was thinking they would end up drafting.
So they stay put and they make a pick. Zach Benson breaking on Let's Talk 716 Sports here.
Yeah.
But
And
back to the Bills. So we're thinking on Eagles and Bills Super Bowl. And how many wins do you think the Bills will get to?
I think like depending on the Jacksonville game, I think it'd be like 13 wins and 3 losses or 14 and 2.
Yeah, I agree.
And like now that you're the um president of Built in Buffalo, um how does that play into your podcasting?
Yeah, it makes it a lot more interesting. I think that um, we're able to try to get more guests that are a little bit more well known. So was I'm really excited. Last night we got to talk to Dan Fates from Rochester. Um, Given that my co-host Peter DiBiase is doing an internship with the Shout podcast, we've had Ryan Talbot on, and we hope to have Matt Perino on as well. So
Yeah, I like Jenna Cottrell, Dan Fates. I think I think both of them do a good job covering what's going on with the Bills and um on their YouTube channel and stuff.
Yeah, so basically my goal is to grow the brand of Built in Buffalo. So I'm reaching out to folks, kind of running our social media accounts as well, and we've got some really cool things in the works. So I'm excited for the future of Built in Buffalo. I'm excited to have the ability to be the president and just be able to do nice things. I appreciate you for having me on your show, first of all, and then also your support always in the Twitter community as well.
Yeah, I try to stay active on Twitter because um there's a lot of good things going on with the training camp coming up at the end of July, and
Are you going to training camp?
I'm I'm thinking about trying to get tickets to going to the red and blue game in Orchard Park.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah, one thing I really wanted to ask you about here. Let me just look back at my notes here. So, how often, or have you had the opportunity yet to go to a live Bills game during the regular season or playoffs? And if you could see any game this year in the regular season, what game would you pick?
Like in the regular season game, I would like to see the Jets or the Patriots.
Those are good. That Jets game in Buffalo is going to be pretty exciting one, I think.
Is that on a is that on a Monday night game?
That's going to be a 4:25 on a Sunday on CBS, so that'll be Tony Romo calling that one, I believe. So the home games we have Sunday at 1 o'clock against the Raiders, then another Sunday at 1 o'clock against the Dolphins here in Buffalo, and
I,
then Jacksonville and London. The New York Giants come to town. That's a Sunday night game at
oh yeah,
8:20.
against what's his name? Davo, right?
Yep, Brian Daboll's coming back. And then Tampa Bay is going to come to town on a Thursday night. That'll be an interesting. I'm going to be interested to see the attendance for that Tampa Bay game. The Bills are a hot ticket to watch, but I'm not sure Tampa Bay will be. We'll see how that all shakes out. And then Monday night against Denver, and the next Sunday against the Jets. So that's going to be a fun little stretch. Then get a couple of weeks off, and Dallas comes to town. So that's going to be a big game there on Fox. And then our last game is December 31st to end the year 2023 against the Patriots at 1 o'clock. So that'll be interesting, actually. That Patriots game being week 17 division game. I think that's going to be quite the game to be at. So you can't go wrong with the Jets or the Patriots. I like that pick.
Yeah, because like um sometimes the week 17 games get flexed also,
Right. Very good.
depending on like how the team is doing.
For sure. No, that's a good point, and we'll see if it stays that way or if it gets flexed. I think the way they have that set up is that Fox has that game at 4:25. I don't know if they can take that away from them or not, the way all the rules are.
You see the Bills winning the division again this year.
Yeah, I think they do. I think they take it for a fourth straight year. The Jets finish a second, and the Dolphins third, and the Patriots fourth.
Um, did you wanna plug where people could find your podcast?
Yeah, go on YouTube and search Built in Buffalo, and you can check out all of our live content there. I'm on Tuesday nights live at 8 p.m. with Peter DiBiase on the Buffalo Blitz, and then live on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. with Sauce God in the Sit Down. A couple of different flavor shows and very fun times. So um, tune in there on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter pages. On Twitter, you can find me at Lance Nelson BIB, and be sure to give that account a follow. So yeah, I appreciate your time, Robbie. Thanks for having me on, buddy.
Yeah, it was fun talking some Bills football with a fellow podcast.
Anytime you need a guest, I'm here for you, bro. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Let's Talk Someone Six Sports. Thank you to my special guest, Lance, and go Bills.
Go Bills.